So FutureMakers is focused on ensuring our systems are working well to get to the number of workers that we need. So kids graduating from high school on time, going on to post-secondary education, training programs, in order to be able to have the skills to fill in-demand jobs in our region. And I think a lot of times we can look at data, we can think we know what the problems are, but as adults not in those systems, not experiencing those systems, sometimes it's really important to go back to the folks that are actually experiencing the system and understanding what they think are the challenges, and even more importantly, what are the solutions. So what we're going to do today is the students are going to walk through in groups and visit a variety of rooms. They're going to tell us what they think some of the problems are. They're going to tell us their ideas for solutions. We're going to have a work-life balance room where they talk about some of the other things that are competing that kind of come into their school life. We have a data room where they'll look at some of the data that we've gotten from past summits. We're going to talk about FAFSA because financial aid, we leave millions of dollars on the table every year in financial aid. We need to make sure that our students are taking advantage of that because we don't want financial issues to be the barrier to a good education. And we're going to have neogenomics in here talking about career pathways.
Actually, I'm a part of the student government, and our school needed a representative to come here today, and it seemed really interesting. So I was like, I'll go.
I think it's wonderful. I think it's great that all these different entities as a region are coming together so that the kids get to hear all kinds of different stories and issues that are facing them. So I'm pretty excited as a parent to be able to witness it.
So recently in Lee County, the school board changed our schedule from an 8-period block schedule to a 7-period everyday schedule. And I know that a lot of the students have been complaining about it because no matter which way you cut it, a lot of students are losing a class and they are falling behind on some of their like academic requirements and stuff like that. So I know a lot of students are worried about that 7-period schedule going on in Lee County.
One major thing that everyone struggles with is finance. Finance scholarships, it's really hard to go by. There's many scholarships available, it's just, you just have to look for it. Or financial aid, it's just my parents currently, they don't speak any English, so that's one thing I have. So they don't really know what's out there, so I kind of had to provide all the information myself and I had to look for it.
Everything from a collaboratory standpoint is really around how do we coordinate and collaborate together. And I think one of the real beautiful things that came out of this gathering today is that we always talk about putting people closest to the problem and centering them and then understanding their stories so then we can find solutions that best fit them. And I think it's really clear today that there's some really impactful information that these young people shared today.
And so we take this information, we're going to share it at our Breakfast of Champions on September 15th. We like to bring the students' voice to the community leaders who can make changes, and then we come together to find solutions. I mean, we work together to pilot ideas, change policies and practices, and figure out ways to improve our workforce here in the region.